Hey, hello, welcome. You're here just in time for this week's episode of Adafruit Show and Tell, and I'm guest hosting today. It's not the usual Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada. It's me, John Park. Thank you for joining me. We've got a bunch of great guests on tonight to show off their projects. Some people from the community, some people from Adafruit. If you want to join in and show some stuff, the place to get a link is in our Discord. So head to adafruit.it/Discord and then jump over into the live broadcast chat channel. You will see a link right there and lots of friendly people talking about what's going on the show. So let's get started. First off, we've got Jay. Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Hey.
What you been working on?
I upgraded the facial recognition bot, the Furbot, to Furbot 02, which has moving legs this time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I realized after the first one, having the head just move is nice, but you can add a little bit more liveliness by making other parts move. So now I have, like, the first two legs are servo powered right now, and they give a little nudge here and there to give it a little bit more of a live feeling, but still doing the same facial recognition, the same looking for people as it's doing now. But now we're just adding a little bit of extra movement here and there, little flair.
I like that. That's really cool. Also, it seems like having the mannequin is a good way for you to demo this without having it right there on your shoulder necessarily.
It's still in prototype mode, so like if I turn it all the way around, you can see all the wires still hanging out of it and stuff. So this is the perfect way of me being able to like work on it without having to wear it while working on it like I used to. So this is Bruno. My mannequin name is Bruno. So, we don't talk about Bruno. That's why it's Bruno.
That's great. Very nicely done. And you were saying earlier that you've got some overkill blue LEDs going on there, maybe.
Yeah, I wanted them to be bright, but I just now saw it in the camera. Now I'm like, all right, you're a little bit too bright. So like if I turn them off really quickly and see, it looks a little bit like the same, a little bit different, but the LEDs they're a bit much. I may switch those out, or at least find a way to dim them.
What is it about blue LEDs? They always seem to be brighter than anything else.
I don't know, but at the same time, it gives off this friendly vibe, which I want, because it already looks like a giant spider crab, and people are really freaking out about that. So
so no red. Actually, it gives it kind of a cool halo effect, and you've got so much light bounce off of the white of the bot itself. It looks really cool, actually.
Yeah, I have to go and do a little bit more details. I'm gonna add a little antenna that probably moves around too, and then make this little tube I have on the back light up as well. It's gonna look very sci-fi. So I'm going.
I like that. What's the tube? Is that containing things, or is that decorative?
It's for both, because I can use it because it still opens up. But it's an old paint tube I used to have for art school, so you can still have a thing here that says like "Do not open." Yeah, open on the other end. But I'm gonna make some lights in here, and I can use it to carry around some stuff. And I have some extra ones too that I can like alterate to make it do different things.
I like that modular design. Really cool. Well, thanks for bringing that on. Great progress with the bot. See you later, Bruno. See you, Jay.
Yep. Laters.
All right. Next up, we have Scott.
Hello.
And hey, how's it going, Scott?
Good. Gonna try not to wake the kid.
Okay.
While I'm at it. He's starting to facial track better every week as well. And we, talking about bright lights, we have green charging lights and stuff. Copper tape is working awesome to cover those up.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Anyway, so I've been working on the web workflow, which is the idea is that with CircuitPython, you can have a bunch of devices, like ESP devices that are on your Wi-Fi network, and you can connect to them. You can modify the files through a web browser. So what I have here is, although it's the local host, it's actually talking to a CircuitPython device, which is neat that it can work kind of cross-server like that. Ideally, we can have like code.circuitpython.org work with a device locally as well, which would be really cool. But what I've been doing is like you can now like select files to upload, and you can create a directory. I did actually break it, so I'm not going to do it. But it basically works. So you can like click in and see like the live what's in the live folder here. And it's actually not doing a separate request, so it's a bit snappier than otherwise.
And for clarity, this is a microcontroller running CircuitPython that is connected via Wi-Fi right now, or is this Bluetooth?
It's correct. It's Wi-Fi. The HTML page itself here is actually served by my computer, but then it's doing behind the scenes requests out to the ESP that's connected over Wi-Fi. Cool. And in fact, what it's doing is it's actually running a discovery process, which is why it takes a little time to load. But it says like, is there anybody on the network that's CircuitPython? And then in the future, you'll be able to like switch between devices, which will be neat. So making progress there.
Cool. And some of the things this opens up for people will be sort of remote updating of code from an iPad to your cosplay prop or something like that.
Anything on your local network.
Anything on the local network, yeah.
Yeah, and you may have seen so this is all part of CircuitPython 8, and in CircuitPython 8, you have now a title bar at the top of any screen that's on by default. So you'll blink it, and then what we call the title bar. It used to be just like the scrolling area, but now we have a title bar, and what we put there is like your IP address. So if you're not able to do automatic discovery, which also works, you just type like circuitpython.local in.
Great.
That if you have NDNS, then that will work, and you can see here it redirected automatically. If that doesn't work, then you'll be able to see on the screen what your or via the serial connection what your current IP address is, because that would work too.
Very cool. Great progress. Thanks for bringing that on, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Good luck with sleeping baby.
Still asleep. See how much work I can get done while he's asleep.
Good luck. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, next up we've got Noe and Pedro. Guys.
Hey, what's up, JP?
What have you got here? What's this?
Yeah, so let's see here. Is it showing up?
Oh, weird. There it is.
There it goes. Oh, that's a weird thing. Don't hide the window.
Oh, sure.
Command H.
Sure.
Just have it open in the background.
That's neat.
Okay, so this week's project is a pipe portal. I thought it'd be a fun idea to turn the pipe portal into kind of like a smart mirror. I got this piece of acrylic with some mirrored film. And we collaborated with Liz to make it so it's interactive, so that it uses the ambient light sensor to detect when your hand is in front of it. So it'll automatically turn off in a few seconds, but just sit still for a little bit. There you go. So now it's a mirror again. And then when you wave your hand in front of it, it turns on. So it's pulling, the weather info from the Open Weather Maps API. You kind of got your standard conditions. You got a nice icon. You got the temperature and the local time. But yeah, it's a fun little case. I got my little reset button back there. Nice. It's all done in CircuitPython. And then look at these thumb screws. Aren't they awesome? Like you got these kind of, you can adjust the viewing angle. So you got your little smart mirror. And there's my Adabot there.
I don't think I've ever seen a magic mirror done in like such a small form factor, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, I got inspired by one of the thermostats, the Nest. One of their latest ones has like it's like a circular thing, and it has that mirrored film. And I was looking at it and it was like, hey, it does auto shut off too. So I kind of was going to originally make it a circle, but I went with this shape because it kind of works out better portrait.
Yeah, it looks like a bedroom, like a dressing room.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a small size. I like that, but I've never wanted to commit a whole big mirror to one of these.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, it'd be cool to make a big one, but you probably
that's a big commitment. This is really cool. Nicely done.
Sweet, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing that on, guys.
Sure, anytime.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Okay, let's see. Next up, we've got Paint Your Dragon. Hey, Phil.
Hey, gosh, you guys are all so energetic. I'm like, I'm ready for a nap. And you guys are, I don't know. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'm sorry. Anyway, we have this library it's an Arduino library called Neopixilate, and it is for controlling like a whole lot of LEDs all at once. And the idea there, instead of one really long NeoPixel strip, it splits it up into 8 things that all happen in parallel. And we've had this for a while. It runs on the M0 and the M4 chips, but there's a chip shortage, and those are hard to come by. And so a while back, I ported it to the RP2040 chip, and then last week I got it working on another chip. We can get our ESP32s, and I needed to learn. There's this LCD controller peripheral on the ESP32S3, and I needed to learn about it. And there's this kind of jackass thing you can do where instead of using it for an LCD, it's like, hey, you kind of have this parallel output that it's all using DMA. There's like very little CPU overhead. So you can do junk like this and still have a lot of CPU available for your own task or whatever. So anyway, that's working. I blogged a bit about it on yesterday, and it should get merged into that library in the next day or two, I hope.
That's cool. Is that, and so this is ESP32 that you're running it on now, and you've also got it on RP2040?
And the original M4 and M0, yeah. It's
and
the ESP32 S3 specifically.
Right.
Yeah, the new hot one. So.
And we have a feather wing that's designed for plugging a bazillion stuff in, right?
Yeah, that's what. Sorry, my cables are only so long. That's what I've got on there. That one was originally designed for the M4.
Yeah.
The cool thing with the ESP32 is you can just route any signal to any pin. And so it's like we didn't need to design a new feather wing for this. We can keep using the M4 feather wing, and the software just works. You know, it just routes the signals to the same old pins, and that's pretty exciting.
So people often ask, how do I do fast stuff with a whole lot of NeoPixels? And it seems like this is a really good answer to that. I don't think I ever appreciated until you lifted that thing up how parallel that is, that all that's...
They're going back and forth. So there's actually only eight channels here.
Yeah.
Really, the main reason I wrote it wasn't for a lot of LEDs, so you can use it for that. It's the topology of a lot of LED NeoPixel projects specifically, about like if you do one long strand, and like if you're putting that on a costume or something, having to go out and back and out and back and out and back, that has problems sometimes. And so
data-wise, you mean like sending the message all the way to the last?
Yeah, and you know, if something breaks along the way, NeoPixels, they won't. That's the end of that, you know. So anyway, being able to home run all of those signals kind of simplifies certain projects.
So you can fail 1/8 of this at a time, and everyone else is happy, right?
And they'll keep going. Yeah, that's kind of a nice aspect of it. Yep.
Really cool. Well, thanks for the update on that, and that's great that we now have more options for chips that actually exist.
More chips you can actually get. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Take care. Enjoy your nap. All right. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Next up, hey, it's Liz. Hi, Liz.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. What's new?
I'm going to switch my camera. And maybe. Oh, you know what?
Hello.
1 second.
Can you hear us?
Press button. Should switch, maybe. Okay. Never mind.
Back.
But so I've been doing some tape hacking, where, sorry, can you come back to me actually?
Absolutely. We'll be back
thanks.
with Liz in a moment. That was a good plan. Good thinking. Heads up play. All right. How about Foamyguy? Tell us what's new.
Hey, JP. So I am kind of working alongside of Scott on the same web workflow stuff. So Scott's been working on getting the files listed out, and he actually built the back end for being able to save the files and stuff. And last week on Deep Dive, as well as on some of my streams over the weekend, I worked on this edit screen. So I have it set up now where we're actually viewing the CodePy file that is running on, I have an ESP32 S2 TFT there. So it's the same deal as what Scott was showing. This is connected to Wi-Fi. My computer is then connected to it. I can see all the files on it. I can click into a file. So like we could go inside CodePy. We can make an edit. We have I integrated it with this nice code editor. So we have like syntax highlighting and all this fun stuff.
Oh, cool.
We could do, make an edit, hello, show and tell. Whoops. Hello and show.
Hello show is cool too.
Show tell. We can save it here. 204 is successful, so that tells us that it was successful. And then I do have it. Oh, actually, I just closed it. I was going to say I have it opened up over here with the terminal, and so we could see that it updates. I won't bother to go back and open it back up, but it will update live. We can rerun it now. It has the new code in it. And we can also click around all the other files as well with this. So I have it set up where this little pencil will go into the file There's a couple of different themes and things. So I'm super excited about the web workflow. This is kind of the piece of it that I started working on after Scott showed it last week. So I figured it'd be cool to show an update.
Wow. That's really great. I know particularly educators are always asking about ways to get around having to install things or even plug things into USB sometimes. So I'm sure there's plenty of people who will be happy about this, but I know educators will really appreciate this sort of seamless connectivity and editing of the files.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
Cool.
Oh, and then the cool thing, actually, probably the thing I think is the coolest about it is I added this docs button. So you can actually highlight part of your code. You can click this docs button and it will actually go to the CircuitPython docs and it will put whatever you highlighted into the search. So you can just highlight a library or a function call or an object name or whatever, search it up right there, and it will pull it up in the docs for you.
That's a huge time saver. I know there's times when I should look at the docs, but I'm like, the whole rigmarole of opening a browser window and remembering where to go and finding it. That's great.
Yep.
Nice work.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun to play with. I'm definitely excited for it.
Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for live streaming as you're building this. I know a lot of people are enjoying participating and following along as you're coding this up.
For sure. Yep. Thanks, JP.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
All right. I see stuff on Liz's camera, so I think this is promising. Hey.
Hi. Sometimes you should just not try to do a fancy camera thing. You should just point and scoot. So I've got a cassette deck here, and what I've done is I've broken out the wires directly from the little DC motor, and I'm controlling it with an L9110 driver, which is this little chip on the breadboard, and that's being controlled by a QT-Py RP2040. And then I'm able to use the 3 volts from the QT-Py to actually power the audio output from the cassette. So basically I've got a little loop going, and I'll turn it up. And then I've got this warbly pedal that can do arpeggiator.
Fun.
And I can change the speed. So we're going faster. I can also do reverse. That's
I dig that. Really cool.
Thanks. And then for the case, basically this is going to get onto a permaproto, and then this print actually broke when I took out the printer, but it'll have a little clip that goes onto the back of the cassette.
Oh, nice.
So I can just sit there, and then I can have the wires come out from the battery contacts and the motor, and then they'll go into a terminal plug, so it'll kind of be this little compact thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. I've made me go away. Hold on. There we both are. So the blue deck there, I have one here somewhere. I've now lost it. Liz and I have been playing around with some of these, and that one has its own little motor controller on it that doesn't allow you to change very much the speed. It's basically got a trimmer pot in there that was designed just to allow them to tune the thing at the factory. So you've gone that extra mile and said, okay, goodbye, dumb motor controller. Here's a way better motor controller. That's great.
And what's good is it's really easy to desolder those wires. It was just 2 points, and they weren't through holes, so I just had to heat up the point and then was able to pull them out, and then I just them extra length.
Extra great. Yeah. And it's super available too. These are 15, 20 bucks on any online retailer. That's kind of the one Walkman style player that exists right now in the world, manufactured new. So follow along. Great. Well, thanks for bringing that on. Looking forward to the progress. And people don't know, Liz and I are working on a guide together that'll have a couple of different of these sort of Walk Mellotron hacks for people who want to get their cassette on.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks, Liz.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Liz's desk. All right. Let's see. Next up, we have the Rainbow Cube of Torment. Some people know him as todbot.
Hello. So, Rainbow Cube, second Rainbow Cube. So I was jealous of Noe and Pedro's huge big matrix cube they'd made, and I found these really cheap 8x8 64-pixel NeoPixel panels on Amazon. You get 3 for $12. So I'm like, oh, I can build a cube for $24. And so I built a little 3D printed frame that basically you screw on. You screw on like this, and you print out 4 of these and just kind of put it all together, and that gives you a frame that you just screw the panels onto, and you wire them up, and they're held together with little M2.5 screws, which means you can use standoffs as little feet. Nice. And so this is running a CircuitPython sketch that's doing the LED animation library, little like rainbow sparkle, I think. And this is another little CircuitPython that's just like random pixels with a fade out. But yeah, whoa.
These are really high-tech fuzzy dice for sure. I've stole that joke from someone who said you needed to print out a
totally.
Car,
But yeah, so I've always wanted an LED cube. They've always seemed very expensive and hard to put together, and so this is a nice little weekend project that turned out pretty good.
Yeah, that's so great. You've solved the problem. You didn't wait around for it. You just said, hey, I'm going to build the easiest to put together little cube. And you said you're running a Cutie Pie in there?
This one's running a Cutie Pie RP2040. This one's running a like a generic ESP32S2 Wi-Fi board, like a generic one off of Alibaba or whatever.
So soon enough, you'll be able to have it battery powered and Wi-Fi and code it from your browser with the stuff. Scott.
Exactly. Yeah. If this one, if I would have put this one with the little Cutie Pie backpack, the BFF or whatever, then this one could have been totally standalone with no wires coming out of it. But currently they're USB programmable, so I can just like log into them and like change their code, which is pretty cool. And if you want to build one yourself, I've put up all the design files up on printables.com, and I'll put a link to that in the Discord.
Thank you.
Cube of Torment.
Oh my God.
CJP.
And happy at the same time. Thanks, Tom. All right. Let's see. We got Rachel coming up next. Hi, Rachel.
Hi there. Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you, and you've got some fireworks going on back there.
Yes, I set the camera up, but we're not optimized for me so much as for this Lego display. So this is actually a Lego wall.
Oh, wow.
So this whole thing is built out of Lego. And so it's got all these studs facing out. Not sure if you can see that.
Yeah.
I didn't totally reinforce it, so I'm a little worried about trying to bring it toward you right now. But
okay, be careful.
Take a chance on it. Anyway, these LED matrices from Adafruit are perfect because it's on a 4mm pitch, and Lego is on an 8mm pitch. So I was just displaying at the Brick World convention in Schaumburg, right in Chicago. And it was part of a Juneteenth celebration. So these were Juneteenth fireworks, and we had a whole display with all the little minifigs and everything in front of it, and it was a hit. I got to say, it was a hit. So, anyway,
so are those?
Yeah.
So are those big plates?
Something here.
Oh yeah, the focus is going funny. So you've based something with large Lego plates. Is that what the front is, or is it?
No, it's brick. It's entirely brick built.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure what I have to do to get that to focus again.
Got angry. The camera got angry.
It's yeah, maybe I'll better just give it more light. So
it's a cool effect.
By brick built, I mean it's like a wall just built layer by layer up. Okay, and if you put, okay, we're gonna take a risk on it, but some matrices may well fall out if I bring this toward you.
Good one.
Because I wanted to bring something today, but I didn't have time to redo all the.
Work in progress.
To secure it.
So, yeah.
Might be easier to bring the camera to it, but or I'd have to unplug it. But
yeah, we can see it though. So these are living right inside of a little window, basically.
Exactly. And for the show, each of these windows was filled with an actual clear base plate. Lego made a 16 by 16 little clear plate for a mosaic kit many years ago. So I've sort of, been collecting them here and there. And I guess since we've got this far.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great.
Part of what is so miraculous about these matrices is that the screw holes are actually exactly aligned with holes number 1 and 15. Here, unplug one here. Of Technic.
That's really great.
Exactly. And really, I mean, I think it's because the whole thing's already metric, right? Yeah. And so it's already on a 4mm pitch. Lego's on an 8mm pitch. For some reason, they don't work this way, so we had to do a little bit of shimming. But
yeah,
as long as you can attach this, you could build it into whatever you want, right? I mean,
great.
You're done. There's so many different ways that you can plug pins into here and connect it. And then basically you add 4 LEDs under each Lego stud. So it gave a lot of resolution.
Oh, that's really cool.
Anyway, yeah, so this craziness is because to just do brick built in 2 studs wide is not going to be very stable, right? So basically I had to go the other direction vertically, and I used a combination of Technic and just long 16 stud Technic bricks, and
that's great.
The heck out of it in the other direction to supervise.
Excellent work. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really cool. And if you have any photos of it up in the show that you were at, throw them in the Discord if you have any links or photos you want to share.
I will, yeah. I have some fun video of it too, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Rachel.
You bet.
Coming by. We'll see you another time. I can just envision a new cube method in the Ruiz brothers' future as they dig through their Lego bins and Technic bins. All right, last up, we have John here. Hey, John. We've got about 3 minutes before it's time for Ask an Engineer. So what have you brought to show us today?
I'll make it super fast. So I showed off my EL pegboard thing earlier.
Very cool.
But this is just a little change I made to it. I wanted to let my kids play with it, and it was just this giant board, really annoying. So I just cut it out, put on a board, and I wanted to do the rocket ship because I wanted to show off now that I have it on too.
Ah, that's great.
So I thought my kid would like that. I gotta let them play with it, try it out with the smaller board, see if they like it. Pretty fun. And then I also made a little, so I now have a 3D printer, made a little stand on it so they can set it up on their shelf and
nice.
Put the controllers here on the back.
So you previously had it on a larger pegboard and now you've tile-ified it sort of, so you have a better little canvas, right?
Yep. So my kids can actually use it and not fight over the single pegboard. It'll be fun.
Good call. Oh, that's great thinking. Excellent. Well, thanks for bringing that by. Really cool work. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Show and Tell. Thanks, everyone, for coming by to bring your stuffs to show and tell. Also, the people over in our chat for hanging out. And coming up next is Ask an Engineer, so stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.